All right, hello
Hi.
and welcome. So I just wanted to start off the session by saying I'm really happy to have you here today. I would first like to bring to your attention the consent form that I've filled out. I think you've read it over. That this interview will be recorded because of reasons for other people need to watch it to evaluate. So the consent form is over there. And if you want to read it over and sign it, that would be great. And then we can get started. Sure. All right, great. So I hear you have a topic that you'd like to discuss with me today. Do you want to just throw it out there?
Sure. So I'm just really concerned about my career choices. Obviously, I'm an undergrad student at school now in the Child Youth and Family program, and although I know I like my program and I enjoy working with children, I'm not sure where it's going to lead me career-wise, and I'm finishing up second year, so that's it's a little stressful because it's causing me to make some or having to make me make some decisions like where I want to do a practicum or, just even getting ready for if I want to do my master's or just basically having to figure out which career path I want to go in. And there's so many options, but also depending on, salary and if you can get a job in that field or whatever. So there's just a lot of things to take into consideration right now. So it's a lot of stress.
Do you have any thoughts so far? Have you looked into anything that would maybe help you make a few decisions, maybe?
Yeah, I've spoken to some people. Like I went and I visited my program counselor and just kind of asked her about some things, and she spoke to me about how hard it would be to get into certain jobs, like for example, like a child life specialist. And she was talking about how that would be a very difficult path to get into because it only takes so many people, and so only so many hospitals have them. And then looking at something like teaching, which also is great, but jobs are hard to find. So I've looked into a lot of them, and there's not one thing that's really pulling me right now. So it's just almost like a lot of choices, and overwhelmed by so many choices and not knowing which one's right for me.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have done some work and some research, obviously, and you do have some ideas, right? Am I right? That you want to look into maybe a little bit more, or that you're just worried that maybe it's just hard to find jobs in that area. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think of any things that you could do to possibly, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe like volunteer somewhere to get the feel of something, or maybe like look into different job areas for like summertime, I'm not sure, something like that.
Yeah, I've started to look into for our practicums here. Our third year is set somewhere, but for our fourth year, we kind of have the ability to choose. And so, depending on what job I wanted to be, like there's examples of an occupational therapist or child life specialist, you can shadow somebody for your fourth year practicum. So I thought of looking into those, but as was mentioned by my counselor, the program counselor, she said that you need to decide that by third year because you have to decide which route you want to go down, and I'm just scared to make the wrong choice.
Yeah, so that's obviously a bit anxiety provoking, right? Like having to choose so early on as it might feel, and maybe that could set your career path. That could be something that might be a little bit scary, right?
Yeah, it's a big decision. I mean, it's the rest of your life, so you don't want to make one decision now that come 3 years from now you went through all that schooling and then have to change your mind and have to figure out what I want to do after my 4 years of undergrad. Like I can't just leave and find a job. It's probably going to be harder than that, so I need to decide what to do if I want to do my master's or if I want to volunteer and get the feel of something or get an in almost to that field.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of decisions. And
for sure. Are there any master's programs that you have looked at or that you've thought about maybe?
Not necessarily. I've kind of looked into a couple things. Like I've really dug into what degrees, or not even what degrees, but what careers you can get out of my program. But I mean, it seems like there's an array, like there's a lot of options, and I guess I haven't really done that much research on specific ones yet or gone into depth about them because I'm just still trying to figure it all out. And when I talked to my program counselor, she said don't stress about it right now, like you're just in second year, just get through the rest of your stuff. But it's still it still weighs on you, it's still in the back of your mind.
For sure. I mean, the fact even saying that don't worry about it right now might spark a little bit of even more maybe frustration, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
In a way that they're saying it's not that big of a deal, but to you maybe it is a really big deal right now that you really want to try and figure something out. Yeah?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily that she made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. I think she just could tell that I was really anxious about it, and so she was trying to, tell me that it's okay just to sit for a bit and think about it, and that, it'll come when it comes, kind of thing. But that was already a semester ago, and I still haven't really made much progress, so I'm just starting to get more anxious again and just trying to figure this out. But it's hard to do by yourself.
Definitely hard to do, and it seems like you have been using your resources very well. So that's definitely a good thing that you've been doing and really been proactive about it. So that's really great. But it seems like there's still a little bit there that's just unsure. And as that program counselor said to you, it's okay to be a little bit unsure, right? And like it's okay to still be looking, and it's great that you're doing all this work, but there's still just a little bit something in there that's just not fully there. Am I right?
Yeah, it's tough because I feel I feel passionate about what I'm going to be doing. Like I feel passionate about working with kids, and I know that's what I want to do. But it's tough when you feel passionate about something and it's not necessarily an option for you. Like I'm scared that I'm going to either go and do a career that doesn't have jobs, like I've mentioned. Like that's tough because you want to love what you're doing, and that's what everybody says, but it's hard to love what you're doing if there's no opportunities for you to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like you don't, obviously nobody wants to be stuck in a job that they don't love, and that seems to be something you've clearly have a passion for something. So why would you want to hinder that at all, right? Why would you want to go into something if you're not loving it and you're clearly find something that you love? So
yeah,
it's a hard thing, but I think that if you have the love for it, then you it's great that you want to pursue it. You know?
It's just tough because on the other hand, I also want to support myself, and I want to be, I want a good career. I want to get a good salary. If the time comes where I want to start a family in the future, like I want to be able to support myself and get on the right foot instead of leave university and can't get a job right away and I'm stuck, frustrated. Like I don't want to stay frustrated. Like right now, I'm not necessarily frustrated, but just trying to figure it all out. And if I do pick a job, that I love and I know that I really enjoy it, I'm scared also to do that and get stuck. So I'm kind of in this spot where even though I don't know what I want to do yet, but if I pick one thing that I might like a lot that doesn't have a lot of opportunities compared to pick something that I know for sure is going to be, a good sturdy job for me, but might be missing on other opportunities, kind of.
Yeah, and that's always a toss-up, right? It's always a tough one. And you've talked to lots of people, as we've said. Like, I can refer you to other contacts if you need to do that. Maybe talk to somebody who's more in maybe the co-op sector of the school. I know if you are in co-op, then you have those resources, obviously.
Yeah.
And use those for further learning about these different jobs. And also just, using what you know that you love, obviously, and going from there could really help.
Yeah, it would be nice to talk to people who are in different sectors that I'm interested in, like a couple or like 3 or 4 different people to kind of get in contact with, but I guess that's hard to, reach out to some people. So it would be nice to be able to get in contact with someone who knows about these jobs and could tell me more about like how many jobs there are in the field and salary and things you'd be doing and how to get there, like how to get your master's. Like there's a lot of things I guess to think about, and it's overwhelming when you don't have the sources. Like I have like looked things up and I went online and I've looked into things, but you can't always believe what you read on the internet too, and some things aren't reliable, and you can't necessarily Google how many jobs there are in a certain field, so that's frustrating. So
yeah, and speaking to somebody else about it might help, might not. It's just it's tough. You always want to figure out what's most reliable, for sure. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think of the people that could be contacted, like other people that you could look into, or like even that thing you were talking about, the shadowing maybe. Maybe not so much waiting, or maybe getting not necessarily an interview, but just like a sit down, have a conversation with different people might help you a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's definitely other resources that you could use. I think that it's a little bit of the anxiety maybe for you right now that's there, and it's obviously that you're only in second year, right? You
Mhm.
still do have time, but there's that feeling of almost like if you don't figure it out soon, you might not get what you really want. Is that kind of how you're feeling?
Yeah.
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 So,
Definitely.
I could definitely try to help you get there for sure. And I think that all these things that you're doing are great, and you're definitely going on the right way to go about trying to figure out these things. So that's great, and like keep looking into the stuff that you've found and finding other things that you like and using your passion. That's great, and I think that you uh, your troubles with finding a job are normal, and lots of people have these feelings. So I think that that would that's okay. And is there anything else that you wanted to discuss in regards to that?
No, I don't think so. Not today, probably.
No? Okay, well, we could pick it up from here on another note and maybe dive a little bit deeper into this thing that we've discussed so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.